She'd heard stories of how she came to be in the caravan and knew she looked like her lost brother's rough description. Brown skin as dark ale and eyes black like volcanic glass. Washing up in the cold water she had collected from a crystal stream not too long ago, she studied her reflection in the dented bronze mirror of her personal wagon. She had a mole under her left eye and a wicked scar bisecting her cheek beneath it. The scar was deep, and she had gained it from a fight she had almost lost when she was less than 13 years of age. Her opponent had nearly taken an eye that day, and she still considered herself to be quite lucky that he hadn't. She had been fighting one of the Aztlan in the mud of a creek far from the city when the lizard boy had taken a stone and driven it into her cheek. At the time, she had barely even felt the pain of it digging into her teeth and even chipping one of them. She'd only cared for her life at that point. Ignoring the iron taste of blood in her mouth, she dug her fingers into his eyes until he'd screamed for mercy. She hadn't stopped. Not even with the pop of the broken orbs beneath her fingers. Death? She was awoken from her reverie by the voice of one of her companions and found herself rubbing her fingers together, which she quickly stopped. She had recognized the voice of her half-sister. Death tidied herself further, having already changed into new clothes. Thinking of her sister brought to mind that the girl had been born prematurely 6 years after Death herself. Even today she was a sickly child, often contracting diseases in the cities that they traveled through. When Death opened her door, she saw someone that looked so much like their mother she could hardly breathe at the sight. 14 years old and already edging on womanhood, her sister was a beauty to behold, and she frequently appeared in the paintings that the caravan sold in the form of small tarot cards. Death herself often drew her sister as the star card, for she shone quite brightly in her heart. It was why, though her true name was Alilia, the travelers referred to her affectionately as their North Star, for she was their navigator. "Hello, sister. Do you need me?" "Yes, the map keeper and I have come to an impasse on our route. He says we've been this way before, but seems confused as to the changes in the land." North Star held out her hand to help her sister down the steep stairs from her large wheeled wagon. It was no trouble for Death normally, as she would often jump down, but if Alilia was holding her hand out to her, it showed a need for decorum. They probably had some visitors.